The wait is over. Season 6 of the Ultimate Mobile Racing League is here. Welcome along to round 1 at the Japanese Grand Prix. This is a modified version of Suzuka, or should I say the original one. Some of you might know what I'm saying as we watch the drivers go through a spoon the other way. Why are they doing that? Because that is the old Applimazing version from Ultimate Racing 2D1, the OG game, the Suzuka, but it's not a figure 8. A different layout to a very legendary track, and I still think that it is going to produce amazing racing in these cars. My name is Larry and I am back full time to commentate the autumn 2025 season, as much as my university will allow it from October onwards, but right now we are here for qualifying in the first ever round. Around here, and Nitro has set provisional pole ahead of F1 Fan. Then we got Oziera, that is a PC player driving today. I am very excited about the driver lineup. We have to go through that first. We got Pigeon back in the brand new Minardi team. We get Elcrack racing for Etruria. That is something that you don't see that often as well. Here he is. I commentate this after the fact, so I did not record myself. So if I don't exactly talk about what's on screen all the time, then I apologize. Krasnod has gone to the top. He is now a Williams driver. He and Laguno are on the front row at the moment, and they make probably the most incredible UMRL driver lineup for one single team that we have ever seen. But I also think that this entire season is going to be unbelievable. We have almost no new drivers, which is also something that you have to get used to, but Kato will be back. Piggy will be back 1 year on from his dominant championship winning season. We have all the UMRL champions on here. I think we have Huanvi and Chichu Burger racing for the S25M team, which is still here, of course. Jaguar is no longer here because of the new relegation rule. That's why Minardi is here, as I already said. Laguno crossing the line, not improving his time yet. We have 10 seconds on the clock. We watch Matt, who has returned to one time, of course, because he was racing for Williams last season. Now Krasnod has taken that spot. Reserve driver at Williams is Phoenix now. He has recorded this race for me today, so thank you, Phoenix. We also see Justin ghosting right here. He is racing for Hurricane Racing Team, the team that he drove as an emergency reserve many times already. I think he's still only the emergency reserve, but he is ready to score points again. We go across the line. Krasnod, Laguno and Nitro, not much has changed since the beginning seconds of this qualifying. I did have much to talk about anyway. Looks like our reigning champion F1 Fan will be in P4. He is still racing for the one-time team with another fantastic livery. Generally, the liveries for this season are incredible once again. The Williams looks beautiful. Then there's the Minardi in P3. Nitro, what a job. Petto is in P5. What a qualifying from APA. This is their UMRL Season 2 livery that they are racing with around here. The team dominated the feeder series back then. Fede is the team owner. He's in P6. Justin with another solid performance. This time he even qualified. He went from last to P6 last time out at Sao Paulo. Let's see how high up he can get this time. Matt starts in P8. He's now the most experienced driver. 44, one more than Laguna with 43. And he's back at the team where everything began for him. And Oziera, as I already said, PC player in the MP Motorsport. That is the vanilla Mercedes livery from the game that they are racing with this round. Wilger, once again a main driver for MP Motorsport. Nice to see. Let's hope that he's going to be around more often than last season again. With 31 races, he's also one of the most experienced drivers. P11 goes to Tosa64, now the team owner of the Minardi team. So that means Pigeon is not racing for Minardi, of course, because they already have 2 drivers. I apologize. Pigeon is racing for Hurricane Racing Team again. I think Minardi could be on for podiums from the get-go. Toaster has done it 3 times. A Nitro runner-up in AMRL surely will be up there as well. 55, that is Smooth 55 and Norris SP are racing for Aston Martin. They of course lost their strongest driver in Larry. I'm kidding, in Crustnet. So team owner Oski will still have to work a bit of magic here. Elcrack and Guillermo with a disappointing qualifying for Etruria Racing Team. They have their first ever livery from AMRL on the car, but that doesn't mean that they only should be as fast as AMRL. Elcrack rarely racing, but almost always taking podiums, and Guillermo of course the champion from the winter season this year. So you got Laguno, F1 Fan and Guillermo, the champions that are on the grid for this race. Pigeon 16th in the Hurricane Racing Team. They finally have a new livery, by the way. Reminds me of the 2020 Williams livery that was never used. It looks great. And Sigma Bob and Huanvi round out our fully stacked grid. But S25M starting from the final row here. Sigma Bob normally is the reserve driver for Etruria Racing Team now, so that transfer rumor came true. And Huanvi is the reigning Amateur Mobile Racing League champion. It looks like a stirred up grid at a stirred up Suzuka. We're gonna have 45 laps around this track. So there's gonna be many opportunities into turn 1, into turn 9, that is Spoon Corner, and then into the exciting infield with the 360R corner that we haven't even talked about yet. We are ready and on the starting grid. Our first Season 6 showdown at Suzuka begins in 5 lights time. And we are on the way. Into turn 1 we go. Krasner with a great start. Nitro has a sniff on the outside of Laguno. The Williams on the harder compound tires. Krasner slides out wide in the Dunlop curve. That corner is tighter than in the Japan 2 track. Fede is going around the outside of Krasnet in the Spoon corner. Petter, now his teammate, goes down the inside as well. Nitro is now back up to P3. The 2 Williams are away from the rest of the field. Matt is falling down the order here as we go into lap 2. Nitro is on softs. Petto, then F1 Fan. Aussie Era making a good start from 9th on the grid. Norris is in P7. Now Wilger also gaining a few positions. Toaster 2. We have a 25% chance of rain, by the way, which is immediately coming true. This is also new for this season and fits the Suzuka track perfectly, of course, as some drivers still tend to stay out, including both of the Williams. Maybe they were just too far away, too far ahead. But there are other drivers also still gambling on one more lap in the wet on dry tires. Petto is leading the pack on intermediates / wets, and the rain is intensifying, so many of them are not on the most suitable tire for these conditions. Krasnet goes for the inters, Laguno right behind him on the wets, so there might be some interesting battles already in the opening laps of their relationship as teammates, as Wilger goes through the middle of Petto and F1 Fan coming out of the Dagna curve here. You could also say it's the 130R curve, but I think geometrically it's better if this corner right here is called 360R. Also, that name is really cool. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's look back to the top here. Laguno and Krasnet, the 2 drivers that had an incredible battle at the German Grand Prix last season. Once again at the top, let's see if they're gonna keep it calm as teammates. I don't think so at all. F1 Fan has lost positions from the start. He's trying to do the different racing lines that are possible in that very long 360 corner. But cannot get by at the moment. Guillermo, he's up to P9, make that P10 as 55 gets past again. Oh, as Petto is forced off the track ahead of them. And F1 Fan now looks to lead that pack. Where is Fede? He's also right in there. I just saw that Fede was in P4. So yeah, the F1 Fan in P4, the train is from P4 downwards. Nitro is also down to P10. Norris now in P3. Krasnet, Laguna and Norris clear of the rest. Norris pretty much the only rookie driver in the field today, because Oziera, I'm pretty sure, is the same as Figueira. So it was a bit difficult with the PC driver names. As Huanvi goes across the grass in the final chicane here and loses a few positions. Nitro regaining a few as well. Now Oziera and Wilger, wheel to wheel, the two teammates from MP Motorsport. Nitro off the track, as it seems, on the exit of Spoon Corner. That costs him a lot of momentum going into the hairpin, which is a lot wider on this track. And yeah, it is a crazy infield right here. Pigeon goes past a few cars as we begin to ghost heading into the pit lane. It would be a lot of chaos because they all go into the same pit box in these old tires if the pit lane wasn't ghosted. And now it is dry. Here Laguna, Norris, Fede, Wilger and Peto still out on the wrong tires pretty much, but Laguna has already reached the pit lane here. Goes for a set of soft tires at the moment. Elkrak tries to stick it up the inside, but after 360R we go to the right in the Casio Triangle chicane. Krasnet in P1 still from pole position. He definitely is able to beat our statistical GOAT, Laguno. He has shown it before. He lost the battle of the Titans at Germany, but especially in qualifying he is incredibly powerful. As Toaster and Fede go wheel to wheel in this section that would normally be the uphill section to 130R, but everything is different around this track here. What about the two S25Ms? They are barging each other off the track, as it seems. Sigma, but with a nice move though around the outside here, and he also keeps that position going through the final few corners. Now having to defend from Justin. Justin goes around the outside, and Oziera was forced off on the inside here. S25M slowly but steadily gaining positions, but we're already on lap 12 here. Laps are just ticking down here. Matt is in 9th position. Laguna, meanwhile, at the front is taking the lead of the race, as it seems they are wheel to wheel down towards Spoon. Laguna on the soft tires in P1. We are not watching that from the recording. Matt is still fighting with 55 and Fede and Toaster also ahead of that. But it seems like Laguna is now the leading Williams, and it looks like it stays that way right now, but they're just separated by 2/10. Krasnet, of course, on the mediums, once again not having to attack as long as he stays with Krasnet, just like at Germany. Everything is fine. We also might see a battle of undercuts between these two again, as Oziera sends it in Spoon. Huanvi is forced out wide, and Guillermo gains a position, but the champion from Season 3 is still only in 14th place. Nitro also not really gaining ground. Elkrak is in P5. Yeah, what a comeback from him so far. Started in P14, of course, along with Guillermo. And Guillermo now where Elkrak started. Elkrak has made it up. Elkrak fighting with a F1 fan even for 4th position. But now we go back to the top. Krasnet is very close to Laguna as they go into turns 1 and 2 here. Not the easiest of corners to overtake. The S's are a bit straighter, I would say, than they are in real life, and also on the Japan 2 track, which is of course more realistic in this game. So maybe you can race through there a bit easier. But right now Krasnet is not interested in that, just in the slipstream. There are new slipstream settings for this league as well from this season onwards. They've been tested by Petto, Nitro, and F1 Fan. These three were the innovators pretty much here, and now it's a lot longer but weaker, so a bit more like DRS, and it does not allow for these crazy dive bomb moves anymore, so I would say it promotes better racing overall, and it is very... Is comfortable the correct word? It is pretty chill to drive. As we take a look down the order here, Rain is on the schedule once again. Nitro has already pitted, Guillermo, Sigma Bob, Justin, Pigeon, all the people that are down there, the Hurricane Racing teams, not having a good day. Justin dropping down the order this time. And now the front drivers pit as well, apart from Krasnod. Is that correct? He's in a 7-second lead. Laguno has pitted. Where is he? Laguna in 17th? Why? Laguna now pits. Something is wrong with the graphic here, I think. Krasnod has pitted, but that is real. Norris SP has just undercut Krasnod for the lead of the race in his first ever Grand Prix. The Williams not in the right place to react, or did they react too late simply? Anyway, we got the only rookie driver in the field today racing for the Aston team, which had its favorite driver ahead of this season pretty much stolen from Williams. In the lead of the race. The teammate 55 is left to fight with Sigma Bob and Justin for P10 at the moment. Still, that would be some points for him as well. And there's a four-way battle for 15th position. Petto not making the most of his P5 start, as Osiera DNFs from his home Grand Prix. So if that is Figo, then he's Japanese, and that is sad for him. The PC driver is currently on a break, I think, so we might not see him anytime soon again. Last time he raced was Singapore in the autumn season. You might remember that for some reasons. Guillermo into turn 1, trying to fight with Fede, two cars that look pretty similar today, the APA and the Etruria, and Guillermo is now up into 6th position. Something has happened in the rain which put him very high up. I think we have to look at the order a bit. Norris currently in P1, Krasnod not leaving us the option to look at the order. He goes down the inside and takes the lead again. I think that was quite inevitable for our rookie here, that he would get passed by the two charging Williams behind him sooner or later, especially because they're on the wets, which were more suitable to the conditions. At least until now. Now the Inters should become a bit faster again, but it is drying up very soon. And Laguno is in P3 still. He has to catch up to his teammate and Norris. F1 Fan in 4th position. Not much to do for him, as it seems, apart from defending from Elcrack, but that's everything, and he's doing a nice job at that, I think. And F1 Fan and Elcrack are the first ones to pit. Guillermo does so as well. Fede a bit distracted by that maybe, and Matt now getting the better line out of the final corner and up to P4. For now he goes past the Italian team owner. And F1 Fan now is right in the pack here as well, but he's already on hard tires. The two drivers that are fighting for P4 are being held up here. Fede and Matt are also having their battle, but on the Inters, Elcrack is the first one to go down the inside. He's now ahead of F1 Fan, who is on the hard tires. So this might be Elcrack's strategy to get ahead of our reigning champion here. Laguna is 1.5 seconds behind Norris. Oh, and Fetty and Matt now going down the order. They have pitted. Justin and Nitro are in the fight. Justin now in P8. Oh, is he gonna get past Fetty? No, he goes into the back of him. And Matt now seizing the opportunity here. Down the inside of Fede into turn 1. Justin goes through. And Nitro does so as well. Nitro wide in turn 7 then. Fan desperately trying to hang on to the slipstream. That's easier, of course, now. The hardtails are also 1% faster, or 1% point, I should say, to be mathematically correct, than last season. 5% instead of 4. This might be a preferable strategy now. Norris and Laguna are also on the hard. Krasnod leading that pack. And now by 3 seconds, Norris no longer getting any slipstream. Laguna down the inside, and Norris pretty much leaving the door open for our champion from the spring season. And we look back at this battle. Fede goes wide and across the grass on the exit of turn 2. Justin in P7, then Nitro in the slipstream, Fede, Matt and Sigma. Is that what we call a DRS train in real life? If so, it's definitely a lot more chaotic than in real life. Fede down the inside at turn 14. I'm not managing to get it done because we go to the right then in the chicane. Sigma Bob in 10th now. UNB still in P13. Don't think that S25M are gonna get many points out of this race. Toaster has managed to gain a few positions at the start, but he's now actually worse off than he started. He started in P11, now P13. The Minardi team having to hope for Nitro to score a few points. Of course, that was the first name of the Faenza-based team in real life F1. So nice to see them now joining UMRL. It's been a long time since we saw that name racing anywhere. They've been in F1 for 20 years even. Started in 1985. Their best World Constructors' Championship finish was P7. In 1991, they might even be able to beat that. 340 races and no wins. Gonna be a difficult task for them in UMRL this season as well. But the rain is once again returning to Suzuka here and immediately leaving again, but it is heavy rain, so the track is really gonna get soaked here. Matt and Guillermo have stayed out. Guillermo having to do some experiments today to be in the sharp end. And most of the drivers have already pitted for the correct tires. Guillermo still isn't doing it. Matt now bailing out of his strategy, and that is going to cost him a lot of positions. Or is he gonna go for softs again? Yes, because I saw that his tires didn't look that good anyway. He goes for softs immediately, trying to overcome the rain with just the best grip that the dry tires have to offer. And still now he's in P14 and rain is coming again. Oh no! Matt's race has been completely destroyed here. Yeah, Elkrag is now staying in 4th position, but F1 fans still closely behind. I think we're gonna see that race, that battle, until the very final corner. Guillermo drifting through 360R here. 55 goes down the inside of him, up to P6, towards the 64 on the inside of the Aston. And Toaster managing to get the inside line here, but 55 goes around the outside. That did not look that nice from the connection point of view. Toaster trying to get the switch back, then maybe another switch back. No, 55 blocking the line here through 360R. You can do some experiments here, but it still is hard to pass. 15-second gap I'm seeing between Elkrag and Justin, P5 and P6. Justin back up to P6. You saw him down the order there with Pigeon. Now he's managed to get back up somehow in the rain. He goes for soft tires. He's one of the first drivers to do that. Fede, meanwhile, has retired from the race once again. It seems like his connection issues are continuing in his 2nd season as a team owner. Just 2 laps to go now as Krasnet crosses the line for lap 44. Laguno has just gone past Norris because Norris is still on the Inters, as is Krasnet. We got 8 seconds between our 2 Williams drivers, but they are on completely different tires and in completely different situations. Elkrag is also still in P4, F1 fan with a 3-second disadvantage, I should say. But now it seems pretty clear that F1 fan is gonna get that 4th place. Why didn't Elkrag pit? Maybe because he knew that the rain would return. There's some drivers going into the pit lane for another set of Inters. That's Guillermo, who in V55. Why is the pack committing to Inters that late in the race? I'm not sure. Krasnet did so since a few laps already. Now the rain is coming back again, and it seems like he did do everything right to cross the line and win the Japanese Grand Prix. Round 1 goes to Krasnet. It's going to be a 1-2 for the Williams team. How many races are they going to win this season? Laguna takes P2 and Norris SP in his first ever race as the only rookie around Suzuka today takes P3 for Aston Martin. Maybe their season won't be that difficult after all. Elkrag manages to bring home P4. That reminds me of the performance that he pulled off against Cato all those seasons ago in Canada. And it is only 5th for F1 fan. Toaster and 55 are racing to the line here for P11 as well. Sixth place goes to Nitro. Still a great result for him in the end. But of course he might have hoped for the podium. He beats Justin by less than a second. But yeah, Justin's race ended up as a successful one. Then probably a frustrated Guillermo in P8. On paper, I think Etruria might be able to fight for the team's championship again. They won it the last 2 seasons. But round 1 here, I think, proved what most people would have come to expect. Huanvi from 18th on the grid comes home to take P9. Toaster going up and down the order this race. 55 in the second Aston Martin takes 11th. Matt in P12. We saw what happened to his race towards the very end, but overall he did have his struggles throughout the race. And as did Peto at some point. APA end up with 0 points After starting P5 and 6, Sigma Bob, our newest podium finisher before today, not anywhere near the podium this time. Wilger also seemed to be a bit on the back foot. And Fede, sadly, after 5 DNFs last season in 8 races, continues this not so happy trajectory. With that, round 1 comes to a close for the first time. It wasn't at Barcelona, but we're heading back to a familiar track for round 2. The Circuito dos Cristais in Brazil has always delivered brilliant action, and so it is one of the only 2 tracks that returned from last season. The second one is also at Brazil with Interlagos. Then for round 3 we're gonna go to Portimao for the second time in the league. Same goes for Silverstone, second race in Great Britain for UMRL. Then the first Chinese Grand Prix will be round 5. And we will go back to Barcelona as well, but in the absolutely amazing retro version, just like today. That's going to be round 6. Round 7 will be Interlagos. Then we go to Istanbul for the first time. The US Grand Prix is going to be at Niagara Falls, just like in Season 1, where Kato won his championship. This is going to be round 9, and we round off this season at Montreal. The Wall of Champions is going to be our final corner of the season. I'm happy to accompany you on this journey again. Subscribe to our channel and join the Discord server to be a part of it.